A young Swedish woman goes undercover into Greta Thunberg's Flotilla, records everything, videos, audios, and just expose every crazy thing that they've been doing. And let's just say, guys, it's wild. So let's watch it.
Har som en del af sin politik, at man anerkender palæstinensernes ret.
Har jeg brugt de rigtige ord? Nej, vi skriver ikke det. Der er 4-5 ret ubehagelige oplevelser. Der er for eksempel nogen, der kommer på røven ud af bilen. Der er bare jungle over.
I realized there was no turning back now. I would have to stay for 4 months with these people from all over the world, document everything, and report back to my handlers.
So we can't write that Shabab starting throwing stones at the gate.
Palestinians also do bad stuff, but we cannot write the bad stuff they do. I know it's kind of like keeping some of the truth away, but we have to look at the bigger picture. The dream would be that Zionism had never happened.
I wish there was a bomb that would just kill them all.
All Israelis?
All Israelis.
That's the Flotilla staff. A bomb that would kill all of the Israelis.
The occupation extends from the Mediterranean Sea to the river. Okay, it's not just 1967. In 1948.
That is all of Israel, guys. That is the only Jewish state in the world.
We don't say we're a resistance organization. We say we're a human rights organization.
That's how they fool you, Europe. That's how they fool you, New York.
Paul.
Okay.
Is that really important?
Paul Larudi from the Free Palestine movement joining us from Berkeley, California.
Israel has to hurt.
Paul Larudi, a key figure in the anti-Israeli organization, one of the organizers of the Marmara Gaza Flotilla, a keen supporter of the Assad regime in Syria and the Ayatollah regime in Iran. Sounds like a great guy. You might want to have him as a babysitter watching over your kids.
Where do you find the people who donate?
Let me show you what we're doing here.
Okay.
He was bragging. He wanted to show that he's a good fundraiser. He can raise a lot of money.
This is our database. Nobody's ever seen it before.
Oh.
It's not something that we show.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to collaborate with lots of other things, right?
Yeah. In fact, a lot of them are Muslim Brotherhood. They have an office donors. I would not get in trouble for what I did. I covered myself very well. I think the best person to connect you with might be Zahir Birawi. He's very close to Hamas. He knows all the leadership.
Yeah.
Zahir Birawi, ties with outlawed terror organizations, head of Hamas in the UK, that is a literally designated terrorist organization, international political affiliations. By the way, also a very rich, very bad guy.
Israel will never enjoy peace. Victory in the end will be ours.
There was a meeting with this,
Okay.
it was very positive, very good.
He had contacts in Gaza who were putting together like the event of the lifetime with tens of thousands of people who were going to try to breach the border fence.
100,000 is just an estimate.
It is the minimum number,
The minimum.
yes, expected to march.
She joins the flotilla sailing from Europe to Gaza, only to discover there is practically no aid support on board.
A few boxes of gauze, like something completely negligible. This is an excuse to say like, oh, we're carrying medical supplies or whatever it is, but it was worth nothing.
She exposes the truth behind the activists of pro-Palestinian human rights organizations. Amin Abu Rashid, Hamas lead financial operative in Holland. Extensive ties cross Syria and Lebanon. Implicit in out loud Al-Quds funds whose leader were sentenced for imprisonment in the US. Another great guy, a great neighbor to have when you're living in Holland.
Every day. We have in Holland more than 700 books.
And you're gonna build more?
If you have money, you can go.
Crazy.
The true purpose of this organization is revealed on camera.
That's your job?
My job here is Israel now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I tell you what's the problem. Lack of consequences. When society does not punish evil deeds, it inevitably creates a vacuum that is easily exploited by people like this. Have no illusion. Every single one of these so-called activists on this flotilla is a terrorist supporter. And if they will not be persecuted by the law for being terrorist supporters by Europe, then I have no hope for Europe ever surviving the invasion of radical jihad. This girl went undercover and reported the staff there saying,
The dream would be that Zionism had never happened.
I wish there was a bomb that would just kill them all.
All Israelis?
All Israel.
that they wanna annihilate all the Jews, that they wish there was a bomb that would come and kill all the Jews, and that they are rebranding these resistant, these terrorist supporter cells in as a humanitarian activist group just to raise money and get world support.
We don't say we're a resistance organization. We say we're a human rights organization.
Not only that, they're actually being paid and sponsored by Hamas. I mean, Greta Thunberg is basically a Hamas activist. There is actual evidence showing that they're receiving financial support and payment from Hamas, a terrorist organization. So when you allow people in your country to just go around and do stuff like that and never get a punishment, never get consequences, then no doubt you're going to have a lot of very bad people just jumping on that train, because that's a roller coaster for bad, morally bankrupt people. And you're going to have more and more of them because there's no consequences. Now, let me tell you something. Have no illusion. None of them is a good person. None of the people that went on the flotilla is an innocent person. You can't play that game today. There's so much information out there in social media easily obtained that tells you exactly who is Hamas, that tells you exactly what happened on October 7th, that tells you exactly who is Assad, the Syrian regime, and all these bad players in the Middle East. So to come and say, oh, I don't know, I didn't know what was going on. I really thought I'm going here just to feed innocent people. Well, first of all, you guys didn't even bring any food. Second of all, it is undoubtedly a summer camp for the most extremist, most radical activists in Europe from the United States that came and jumped in one goal to go and undermine the existence of the only Jewish state in the world. This is pure anti-Semitism, pure extension of Nazism. Because I tell you what, if they were true activists who cared about human rights, who cared about children's rights, why aren't they marching to Syria right now, where they're massacring Druze, Christians, Alawite, Yazidis, kidnapping them in the thousands? Why aren't they going and marching into Congo, into Sudan, into Kenya? There is hundreds of Christians in Africa being butchered, slaughtered with machetes in the most horrific way by Muslims on a daily basis. We're talking about more than hundreds of thousands of innocent Christians who died in the last year by the hands of Muslim radicals in Africa. No one is talking about this. Why aren't they going and marching about that? These people don't even have an army. They're not even resistant. They're not even using anyone as human shields. Jihadists are just going village by village, plundering, killing, beheading everything that is coming in their way, taking their children as sex slaves. Not a single word from Greta, from any of these activists. And why is that? Because it doesn't serve their agenda to go and destroy the only Jewish state in the world. So when you have a beacon like this called the Flotilla that brings all these terrorist supporter activists into one group, and they go sailing, and then Israel does the job and arrest them all for you and deport them right to you. Take names. Every one of these people should be persecuted by the law of Europe as a terrorist supporter, not an innocent person. There's no one innocent. I mean, they all saw. I mean, they all know what happened October 7th. They all know what Hamas did to innocent people in Israel. They all saw what the Gazans did to the body of Shani, Luke, and other bodies who were dragged and paraded in the streets of Gaza, spitting on them, going and sharing baklawas in the street. Not a single condemnation for the wickedness of Hamas in their eyes. Everything they do is targeted against Israel. Have no illusion. Don't hear any of their lies where they're going to tell you, no, it's against Zionism, it's against colonism, it's against occupation, and all kind of words they like to throw in the air. They're doing that just because they know it works on you. These are extremist, terror supporter, activist, Nazi-like, borderline Nazis whose hatred toward the Jews and the only Jewish nation in the world is so great that they will handpick any catastrophe that is happening around the world, any tragedy, and will politicize it and use it against the Jewish people, and will put it in your face to convince you that the Jews are bad and that the radical Muslims are good. That's exactly what they're doing, because if they didn't do that, they will be going right now and marching towards every single innocent Christian that is being massacred in Muslim countries in the hundreds of thousands, way more than the death toll in Gaza, way more than that. Or go and march for what is happening in Syria, with the Syrian regimes going around and just massacring Druze, Christians, Yazidis, Alawites, kidnapping their children as sex slaves, burning Christian villages as we're speaking right now. Not a single word from these so-called activists. I mean, you heard them. They're even saying it themselves. We don't call ourselves as a resistant.
We don't say we're a resistance organization. We say we're a human rights organization.
We brand ourselves as human activists, not because they care about humanitarian needs. Just if they did, I mean, they would probably bring real food. They didn't even bring food and medicine with them on these boats. It was a stunt, PR, trick, sponsored by a terrorist organization. Every one of them is actually working for a terrorist organization. They literally got paid by Hamas. So if a terrorist organization comes and organize a very racist terrorist supporting rally in your country and start paying people from your countries in the West to work for them, and your country does not come and bring the full wrath of justice on them, then oh boy, you guys are opening one can of worms. And trust me when I tell you, you're going to start seeing intifada revolutions in your streets, and it's not going to be pretty. Stay safe. See you next time. Oh, and by the way, if you've seen these videos of Greta claiming that she was kidnapped by the Israelis and held hostage, well, Greta, you know what? This is how a hostage look like. Not like you. This is how a hostage look like. This is how a hostage look like. So spare us the crocodile tears. You're a con artist. You're a disgrace. And I really hope that finally someone is going to sue her and the government will take proper action against these clowns.